What in general did you think of today's group?
It was good. It was a veteran group, so you had a bunch of older, more mature guys. So it's probably the most physical of all our workouts so far. You didn't have 22, 23. I think one of the guys was 24. So physically, they're all strong. A lot of bodies on the floor in a good way, chasing the ball. It was probably our most competitive, most physical workout thus far. So it was good.
Is there an appeal for you guys to the older college player right now, just because you have so many young guys already on the roster?
Yeah, and it's all relative. They're still young coming in here, but you get some more experience. Physically, we're probably a little bit ahead of the curve than the 18, 19-year-old kid, obviously. So there's pluses and minuses for the youth and for the older guys, but I think the big thing is the experience level. Most of these guys today have a very good feel. Just all of them have a good feel. So they know how to play, which comes with time, and their bodies are kind of a little more ready to come in and compete. So when you see one of our guys like Granger come down compared to some of the college guys, like, all right, that's an NBA 3. And these guys are like, man, I played 4 in college, and this guy's bigger than me. So there are some benefits to being a little bit older in terms of just the maturity on the court physically and that type of thing.
How much of this is just judging guys for summer league type roster?
Well, you're rallying for everything. You're rallying for your draft pick. We have Bakersfield, which was a really big kind of piece for us to use this past year, but these are primarily for drafts. So different levels of the draft for all these guys, but we've evaluated these guys from high school. I remember when I was in D.C., Quinn as a 15, 16-year-old kid at DeMatha, so it's a constant evaluation, constant process to see if they can play in this league. And they'll all kind of go through the different levels, and that's to determine which level, but it's a constant evaluation of kind of every level of our organization, from our team to our D-League team to Summer League. So it's a nice step, and it's good for these guys to get in. I get out all the time to see these guys live multiple times for Jeff and some of the coaches to kind of get their hands on them and get a feel for them. And then we'll go have lunch with them, kind of get a chance to figure them out as kids. So.
How important is figuring them out as people in those interviews?
It's very important, and then, it's the human element. So you try as best as possible to get a good feel for them. We do a lot of background research. Again, these are kids we followed for a very long time, so I think we have a decent idea of how they are, but you don't really know until you kind of get in there and just kind of sit down and talk with them. And it's usually more of a casual setting, and try and get to them as natural as possible and interact with them. So it is an important part about seeing what type of personality they are, what their work ethic is, and kind of how they approach things. And it is a kind of a short speed dating session, but it is nice to kind of, all right, I talked to this kid, he seems like he's a pretty nice kid, and kind of get to know him a little bit more.
As part of the process, do you look at anything like their social media, anything like that?
Yeah, all those guys are watching. I think most people have become more nuanced over the years to it, and their agents obviously advise them not to put stuff on social media that we can see that might be like, all right, this is a little bit interesting. So it's rare now for guys to have stuff on there that is too incriminating. So I don't know if the kid's just maturing more or being advised by college coaches. Do it a lot too. When I was at Baylor even 10 years ago, 11 years ago, there was talk about like what to put on Facebook, when not to put. And I know some guys even ban social media during the year. So these guys are pretty smart about it. So we check everything. Most guys, I would say, are smart about avoiding that. So
you said you watched Quinn clip since he was 15. What kind of growth have you seen from 15 to now?
Again, he was at DeMatha, so we weren't allowed to go see him. Just kind of watch him on TV. Then he went to Oak Hill. So see him mature as a player, as a person. It makes me feel old after seeing him as a young kid, and now it's like, golly, you're a senior, won a championship, and physically getting better. He's always been a good shooter, handling the ball.